So hi everybody, I'm Yair and I'm from TestFairy. And TestFairy is a mobile platform that helps companies streamline their mobile development process. And we just joined Sauce, so I'm very excited to be here. And we have with us Elad from Honeybook. Elad is a mobile lead in Honeybook. Hi Elad.
Hi, live from my living room.
We're all in our living rooms or in our home offices. We're going to talk with Elad about how Honeybook built their mobile app and how this mobile app helped them become very successful. Rumors say that you just crossed the $1 billion valuation. Is that correct?
1.1, just to be exact.
1.1.
But it's like the small details.
Of course, 1 billion, 1.1. We're okay with both numbers. So congratulations for this successful fundraising. Very impressive. And so we're going to talk about mobile in general and CI/CD and development and testing and anything in between. So before that, let's start with Honeybook. What is Honeybook? What do you guys do?
Imagine you're a photographer. You realize that taking photos is not like managing a business. You need to get clients, you need to send invoices, you need to file taxes. Instead of doing 100% of what you love to do, it turns into 20%. Honeybook is here to solve that problem.
Honeybook will be the service that I will go after if I need an efficient way to send my invoices, to communicate with my customers, to manage my business, and that will leave me more time to focus on my business than managing the paperwork and the administration.
Exactly.
So let's talk about your team and the tools that you use and how you got to build a really successful app. First of all, what tools do you use to build your app? Is there any special CI here? Is there anything that you built yourself?
So a year ago, when COVID hit, we were just on the brink of upgrading the library that we build our mobile app with. So we both build our mobile apps with React Native, both for Android and iOS. And I was having a conversation with Yair about maybe adding TestFairy into the mixture and see how our members use it. Recording the sessions, I will get into that later. And during that session, Yair challenged me and asked me, "So how do you distribute your versions?" And back at that time, we were using a service provider that was able to build Android versions for us, but it had a lot of issues with generating IPAs, like iOS files. And with a little push from Yair and the TestFairy team, we decided to move over to Fastlane. So Fastlane is the base of our CI. At first, we ran Fastlane on our local computers, saw that we're able to distribute from it using TestFairy as our distributor, both for iOS and Android. Once we were done with making that work, we moved over to looking for a CI. And we ended up choosing GitHub Actions, which we really like.
GitHub Actions over like an on-prem solution like Jenkins. Did you think about the options of running things in-house or in the cloud?
So GitHub Actions, you can actually run in-house. We run it on local machines. And since we're already, our code is already stored on GitHub, and some things on Fastlane are stored on GitHub, we decided that's the best solution for us.
And does it also involve your tests and your automatic tests?
Yes. So we're now in the process of building end-to-end testing and Jest, which is a testing tool for React Native.
Let's talk a little bit about how you test your mobile apps, and specifically with TestFairy. You mentioned that you use TestFairy for app distribution. I do know that you also record your sessions for testing to better understand what happened when an app didn't work well.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit about how that helps you?
That's a great question. So The way that we test it today, we have our QA team. Whenever we release a new feature through our CI, of course, they get a message on Slack. There is a new version waiting for you with this and these features to be tested. They download it. And once they start playing with the app, we have in the configuration recording always enabled for our staging versions. And whatever they do, we as developers can see, or even the product can see. And if there is an issue, they can report it in two ways. So the first way is they shake for report, which is my favorite one. And the other option is once they take a screenshot, they're being asked, do you want to report this as an issue? The cool thing is that if the app crashes, instead of me getting a debrief from my QA or my PM that tests the new feature, I get everything on TestFairy. And so I can just follow, you can call it the instructions, how to reproduce the crash and solve it faster.
And can you describe an aha moment that you had in your team where they said, we couldn't have solved that with different tools?
Yes. So there are a lot of incidents as being a mobile developer or a developer in general, where you get an issue from the QA and they write everything that they did. I went to this page, then I went to the next page, then I tapped on this button, then I tapped on this list item, and then something crashed. So with the difference is that with TestFairy, you can also see where they tapped. And that has a lot of significance because sometimes they say, yeah, we did A, B, C, D, but they actually did A, B, C, and then they put their finger on the monitor, on the screen for a bit too long, and then you can see that, and then you can identify that there was an issue with the flat list or a list view, that only because the way that it works this way on an iPhone, the app crashes. So with TestFairy, we were able to see these kind of things.
You mentioned the video recording. Why don't we switch to the demo and see how TestFairy works and continue from here? This is the TestFairy platform. It consists of multiple products that help you manage your mobile development lifecycle from one place. It starts with app distribution, the ability to put the apps in the hands of users. So you can easily distribute your apps to the right people in the org. It can sync with your single sign-on, so the right group in Okta can have access to the right apps. Following that, you can see session video recording. So you can see what users did while using your product. This is a key component in helping developers understand what exactly happened in the field, knowing that mobile testing is by definition remote. It's always happening not next to you. It can be in the next room or in another building or today where everybody's home or in a different country. So you need to see what happened on a device that is not nearby. In a bug reporting is your ability to report bugs. So you can actually shake your device, sketch on the screen and hit the send button. And that helps teams report more bugs easier and then fix them in an efficient way. And we'll also talk about the integration with SOS, how TestFairy connects to Real Device Cloud and allows you just in one click, run your app on any device that is available in the cloud. Let's see how that works. So this is the TestFairy dashboard. And what you see here is all the apps you uploaded to your account. And for every app, you can do multiple actions. The first that we can look at is sharing your app. This is a TestFairy landing page. For every app, we automatically generate a landing page that allows you to download the app in just one click. This page is customizable. You can have your release notes uploaded from Jenkins or Circle CI. You can share your app by sending it to users. Like you can choose between all the groups. For example, let's choose the QA group. I can choose this group and add some comments here and send this app to these users. They will get an invitation and will be able to download the app. That is pretty easy. The interesting part is to look at the integration we did with SOS. And that integration allows you to run your app on a SOS real device. In just one click, you can take the app that you uploaded to TestFairy and run it on a real device. What we'll now see is the app is uploaded from TestFairy to SOS, and the next screen that you see allows you to choose on which device you want to run this app. Let's choose, for example, a Google Pixel, and we'll launch the app that we uploaded to TestFairy on a Google Pixel device and see how that works on that device. And there it is. We ran this app, and everything we do here is on a real device. Now let's see how TestFairy can record sessions. This is a TestFairy session. What you can see here is what the user did while using your app. You can see where they touched the screen and what was their exact experience. Now, if something went wrong here, you can fully understand what the user did before there was a problem or before there was a crash. This video is translated to events, every activity fragment, view controller, button click, network call, gesture. Anything that happened here is on this list. So if you need to understand how to reproduce this bug, you have a step-by-step explanation what exactly happened there. All the logs are uploaded to TestFairy, as well as lots of technical metrics. So this allows you to fully understand what that user did. Now, this is how users report bugs. They can actually shake their device, sketch on the screen, and hit the send button. And that helps them to easily report bugs and actually report more bugs. And the chances that somebody will not report a bug because they're busy or it takes too much time or not today, those chances are lower when it's easy to report. Just shake your device, sketch on the screen, and hit the send button. This bug can be pushed to Jira automatically. This is a Jira issue that was opened by TestFairy. What you see here as the screenshot, you can see the video playing in Jira showing what that user did before the problem. There's a timeline explaining step-by-step how to reproduce this bug. And if there's a crash, we'll put the stack trace here, symbolicated, of course. And all the logs are uploaded as well. So making a perfect bug report is something that helps developers work faster, be more efficient. There's no need for them to go back and forth with the user that opened the bug and ask them, can you please add more information? Can you please explain this and that? A bug report that would say the app is not working would be something that I wouldn't even start working with on any other day. But if it comes with a screenshot and a video and a timeline and logs, and all the fields in Jira are automatically populated with the right values. It's a Google Pixel 3 XL on Android 10 with this IP address, with this timestamp, with this username, whatever. So making the integration with Jira perfect, allowing users to report bugs in a very easy way. And in between, making that automatic makes things much easier for the development team. I know that you guys had interesting integrations for a very similar use case. Tell us about it.
Until we started using TestFairy, our main source of info for crashes was Firebase. Firebase was our eyes on the ground in everything that's regarding user sessions and the way that they're behaving. So if we had a crash, we would look at the logs, we would follow the trace and try to reproduce. Now, this is one side of the equation. Many members, or this is how we call them, we don't call them users, we call them members. So many of our members contact our support, and our support open tickets about this and that issues. Mainly these issues are not even crashes. It's something that is problematic with the flow of the product. And these are things that you can't see on Firebase. Now, if you have a member that has an issue and he's talking to the support team, usually the ping and the pong would be the support would open a ticket, we would get the ticket, we would ask the support team, can you tell us what device are they using? What is the version of the device? What are they doing? Can we have a screen recording? And then the member would say, I don't know how to do a screen recording. Can you tell me how to do a screen recording? And all of this experience would be frustrating for everybody. The member that would have to go back and forth with the support team to solve this problem. The support team that would have to manage the conversation with all these members that are trying to understand what to do, and then us that wouldn't get all the information that we wanted. Here comes TestFairy to the rescue. So with the help of the team, we've created two things. We've created integration to Intercom. That's the software that we use to communicate with our members. And B, we have added a special button in the app that when a member is talking to a support person, the support person tells him, okay, you have an issue, please tap on this button. And then they see a message telling them, okay, your session is now being recorded. And once that happens, since the session starts, they take a video of everything that they're doing. And once they're done and we get to the issue, to the problem, they hit the stop, they send it, and the next two magical things happen. One, we get a new ticket in TestFairy. It's something that we need to handle. We even get a Jira ticket. That's like a good byproduct of this. And the third thing that happened is that we have an integration from TestFairy to Intercom. So the user types their email, and we also send in the background their user ID. And then both of these things reach Intercom, and then Intercom, through the integration, knows how to, adds the TestFairy video into the Intercom conversation. And then we have a complete circle of this entire incident, and we can take care of it faster and easier. That's a killer feature.
Guess what? I have a slide about that. Exactly. You wouldn't believe that I will prepare a slide about that, right? So let's go back.
I'm like,
let's go back to my screen and we'll show the slide about remote support. And remote support describes exactly what you just said. We had a very interesting discussion with the product team in one of the largest mobile carriers in the US. They said two things. First, it takes them an average 4 round trips of emails with a customer until they understand the problem. And second, only 10% of people respond to an email from their mobile carrier, which makes total sense. I think that if I would reply 1 out of 10, it makes total sense to me. Now, what they were looking for is to shorten the response time with that customer and understand where the problem is as fast as possible in order to escalate to the R&D. And it started like that. The app is not working. I cannot complete my purchase. Support replies to customer asking to enable remote support. It is very important to mention now that the user gives explicit consent. The user will see a dialogue. You're about to be recorded for quality assurance purposes. Are you okay with that? They'll say yes. Recording will start. They'll see a visual indication saying recording is now taking place. Customer enables remote support, and immediately support replies, I see the problem. It looks like you're doing this and that. And at that point, the support team clicks on a button on their dashboard and creates a Jira ticket in one click. So that helps us escalate tickets from the customer to the support team to the R&D to Jira immediately. And that saves a lot of time and makes the whole team more efficient and more in sync regarding problems, and allows you to turn off the fire before it escalates to a Twitter storm regarding your app or whatever it is.
Or a bad rating on the App Store, which is the worst.
Bad rating in the App Store. We need to solve those problems before the customer goes to the App Store or goes to Twitter to say this app is not working well.
Every time an app gets a bad review, a developer is shedding a tear. That's what I always say.
I will take that with me. Let's talk about our app reviews. I think that you are pretty fanatic about how you handle app reviews in the store.
Oh, I am. First of all, we have someone from our support team that is dedicated for every review that we get. We have a special Slack channel that is integrated to both the App Store and the Play Store. so that every time that we get a review, that review appears on that Slack channel, and we have a way to monitor if someone from the support team has responded or not, and if they didn't, then we hit a prompt. Hey guys, you need to reply there. And the other aspect of this is that almost every member that gives us a review, a good one or a bad one, I would try to make the effort, and if it's a bad one, I would definitely try to make the effort to contact them personally. Because if they're not enjoying the product and there's a way for me to help them, that makes the whole world for me.
So that's actually excellent, and it shows a lot about your character as a company, of how you deal with reviews from customers, good or bad. And good companies are companies that listen to their audience. So well done for that, and it definitely got you to a little over $1 billion valuation. There was one more question that I had in mind. You at the beginning, you were very sensitive about crashes, and you had some limitations with React Native. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the way that Firebase works with React Native and with crashes in general is that it aggregates crashes that goes to the same native point and puts all the crashes that goes into that point in one place. The problem with React Native is that all the crashes are JavaScript crashes. Most of the crashes, are JavaScript crashes. And what happens is that you would have a crash in one part of your code, then you would have a crash in a different part of your code. But since both are in JavaScript, they go to a special method called RCT assert. And if you're a React Native developer, you know it. And then all your crashes are there. And now if you need to realize, if you have released a new version, where are my crashes? Like, how can I filter between them? And that's something that we didn't have in Firebase. Here enters TestFairy again. I talked to the team. I told them, listen, I have a problem. And I see that whenever I get a crash, you give me a bit more info. Would you be able to aggregate the crashes in one place? 2 days later, I got it. And now whenever I need to identify which and where and what kind of crashes I have in my environment, in our app, in our production apps, or even in our staging apps, I go to TestFairy first, then I go to Firebase.
That would be the biggest compliment I could think of. If you go first to TestFairy and then to Firebase. Thank you for that. I think we're just almost out of time. I would like to sum it up, and I would like to hear what you think about some best practices and best advice. Make it easy for users to install your app. If they need to sign up and fill in complicated forms and install some add-on apps, it will be complicated for them and they might not join the test. Second, record those sessions. If you're using the app in a dog food process where all company employees help you iron out bugs, like many of the companies that work with TestFairy, record those sessions so you can see what happened before crash or before something went wrong. Third is make it easy for users to report bugs. If they're using your app and they'll need to fill in Jira tickets or send you emails or call you, they might not do that. If all they need to do is shake their phone and sketch on the screen and it will take them 3 seconds, there's a higher chance for them to report that bug. And the last recommendation would be to integrate with anything that your company is using. If your company is using Jira, connect to Jira. If you're using Slack, Trello, Intercom, Zendesk, any tool that your company is using, it would be best if you connect to that tool and not do anything manually. Otherwise, the bugs won't get to the right place, which is the developers that need to fix them. That was all from my side. Thank you so much, Elad, for joining us, and congratulations again for the whole HoneyBook team on your great success. Can't wait to see you get to 2 and 3 and 5 billion. You will get there.
Yeah.
And this is all from us, from the Test Furry team and the Honeybook team.